You got it locked on Roadium Radio.
Due to circumstances beyond anyone's control, Dr. Dre is in the motherfucking house. So right about now, and I say, yo Steve, are you with me? ICE, are you with me?
Here's a little something about a nigga like me that never should've let me buy tape from Steve. Ice Cube would like to play dope shit mixed by Dr. Dre. Since I was a youth, I like COMPTON. Now I like the motherfucking Roadium. Buying a tape or two, that's what the hell I do. You don't like Tony A? Well, fuck you, this is a game, and I'm in it. Ice Cube will fuck you up in a minute with a right, left, right, making you sick. And then you see Tony A is on the mix.
Tony A! Tony A! When you're ready, go.
Welcome back, everyone, to Roadium Radio episode 257. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody who's tuned in, everybody on the live chat. Somebody asked me if I was a Teamster. Yes, Local 572. Yes, 15 years. And I'm actually thinking about going back and getting a job. I don't know yet, maybe. But maybe if I leave the podcasting business, I'll leave it up to you guys and I'll just go back to work. But other than that, I want to thank everybody who liked, comment, subscribed, everybody who's supports Roadium Radio. Thank you, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. Other than that, I'm still getting hit up on my DM. How do I get an opportunity to be on Roadium Radio? Every week we go over this, and I'm going to continue to go over it, because that's my job, to inform you guys. Submit your music, submit a short bio, and submit videos if you have them to our Gmail, roadiumradio@gmail.com, roadiumradio@gmail.com. And then you will be contacted via email by somebody of my team. There's like 5 members of my team, so somebody will contact you, okay? Now, somebody may say, well, you know what? Do you have any open spots next week? We never do it like that unless somebody cancels. I have certain people that I put on the list that when they cancel, I ask them, you want to come on? I got an earlier date. But if I were to book you today, you probably wouldn't be on until late July anyways. That's how booked we are. So other than that, submit your music, roadiumradio@gmail.com. Other than that, we've been having a little trouble with getting the website back on, but it should be back on soon. If I have any more announcements, I will announce them right before the break, during the break, or when we come back from break. But without further ado, please allow me to introduce my very special guest, Rockin Chicano.
What's up, Canal?
What's up, my brother?
Just right here. I'm blessed, bro. I'm very blessed to be here. I thought I would never make it here,
Really?
Dog, you're a personal individual that represents the Raza and everything in the right way. You're positive, bro. And I look at you and I look at myself. There's a big responsibility over our shoulders, and everything that you've always spoke on has always been positive, and especially bringing up the Raza in this rap game,
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
I don't listen to rap that much, homie. You know what I mean? The ones that I did they're dead,
Yeah.
But you're a big influence in the Raza community, a big public speaker, homie, And
Gracias.
it's a blessing to be here, dog. It's an honor to be here, bro,
Thank you. Thank you for that. Your words humble me, and I'll tell you why. Because when I started this, I never imagined that somebody would see me and say, hey, are you Tony A? Yeah. Hey, man, you're a blessing, carnal. And those type of words and those type of compliments humble me.
Yeah.
So because I never thought that, I guess it would go in that direction or that, I'll just be straight up. When I started this podcast, I didn't know if anybody was going to watch.
Yeah.
And it took off.
Yeah.
And this platform has given so many independent artists, especially Raza artists, a platform to shine, to share their story, whether they normally wouldn't get an opportunity with a Power 106 or a A.DA or a 92.3 The Beat or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we as Raza have to create our own platforms for our own people.
Ooh, come on, somebody, I like that. Yeah, that's very true, carnal. It's a lot of responsibility. You know, we always got to stay focused on everything. I look at you and I look at as a partner, you know, somebody by my side, somebody running that same type of race, you know, and it's very important that we speak. You speak of ours is more like a ministry almost, you know, but it's kind of open, you know. We don't drink pizza like you guys. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. Everybody's free to do whatever they want, you know, but everything is almost the same, you know. We just like to bring real life stories into the podcast, and they ain't Hollywood, homie. I've interviewed some people, and their story's too hard. I can't have it on Facebook or stuff like that. They'll trip out, bro, you know. Pero even though, regardless, we still have to keep focused and keep on running this race, homie. It's a hard race, and you know, when I met you, Holmes, I complimented you a lot, too, you know, because they don't know the struggle. They don't know how hard it is to get things going, put everything together. Like today when we walked over here and I came here, it's in the barrio, homie. Yeah. This podcast is in the barrio. This ain't no Hollywood Hills. We don't have dope money that we could go open up a humongous studio. This is in the hood, homie, across the street from a school. Everybody looking at us kind of funny, kind of weird, you know, walking towards your house, and you can see people looking at us, you know. But it's like, it's a community thing. It's a barrio thing. Everybody looks out for one another, you know, and it's a blessing, bro. So when I met you, dog, it was like, you know, I complimented you because I know that road that you're in. I'm in that road, bro, you know? Yeah. So big saludos to you, your whole crew, your familia, your grandkids, your son, your in-laws, everybody that partakes on just this activity that we do. And it brings a lot of light into individuals that don't have any kind of platform or anything, bro. Big kudos to you, homie. Big saludos.
Muchas gracias.
Big hard homes, big baisa to you, dog. And dale duro, keep on doing what you're doing, Holmes. You know, God's going to bless you 1,000-fold, Holmes. You know what I mean? This is just the beginning. You know, I know we're getting older. Yes. But still, dog, God will bless you 1,000 more. And me también, dog. You know what I mean? We just pushing and doing the best that we can, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, man. Thank you for your kind words. You know, I wanted to ask you something. You know, I don't ask this question too many times, but when we met, again, I was humbled by you coming up to me and introducing yourself to me and complimenting me. Pero I guess my question to you is, how did you hear of Roadium Radio?
I have seen it before, bro. I've seen some interviews, bro, and I just peep game, bro. And whether you know this or not, you're like a minister, bro. You got the gift of gab, you know. So I have to peep game from individuals that have been doing it before me, you know, and I have to do what you guys do, more or less certain things. So I had seen it on YouTube. I had seen your other homeboy, Chicano, what's his name? American Chicano or
American Cholo?
American Cholo, yeah, that guy, you know. And I can't talk about him, but it's like he's more like head on. Mm-hmm. You're more open, you know. Mm-hmm. I like more of the open side, you know. That way we could hit a lot of topics, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with his radio station or his part, nothing. But I peep more of you than I do of him. No disrespect towards him at all. But I get more clutch out of you, you know. And it's very important that we pay attention to individuals that we listen to, because that feeds the spirit, homie. Yes. You know, game recognizes game, and as we go, you grow, homie. You know, and your podcast, when it was kicking off, I was watching it, and mine's had been going on for a little while. Now we've hit it even more. I was just peeping on how you introduce yourself. How is it that you spoke to the individuals, the rappers? You know, some were hard, some were tough. Some were mellow, some were cool, some they were all right, you know. But how we hooked up, it was through my homeboy Chunky, Negro, Pamps, and all of them, and they hooked me up. So big saludos and gracias for you guys connecting those doors. It's all about networking, homie.
Absolutely.
If you don't network and you're closed and you're closed-minded, that's as far as you're gonna go, homie. You know.
Absolutely.
I've always said, do business with your heart, your mind, and your spirit, and you'll go far. You know. And when you network, open up doors for other people. People will open up doors for you. And sure enough, they invited us to because you like seafood.
Simon, yeah, mariscos.
Yeah, so I'm not a big seafood fan, homie, you know. But being there, I said, let's go. And then that's when we bumped into you right there.
Yeah, it was a true blessing, man. And once again, shout out to Jay Amador and Negro, you know, for inviting me out. You know, when I interviewed them here, Jay was like, I want to take you out. Let's have dinner. And I was just like, because none of my guests have ever asked me out, you know. So I said, okay. And he was like, when? I thought he was playing around, but he was very adamant about it. He was like, Monday or Tuesday. And I was like, okay, let's try this day. So we went. I drove up there, and I didn't know. I thought it was just going to be me and him, you know. But I got to see, you know, the Raza right there, and it was dope. I had a great time. And it was a blessing because I met you. You came, you sat next to me, and we started talking.
Yeah.
You know, and I will say this, okay? And one thing about me, I will never front. I received such great vibes from you, okay? I came home and I told my son.
Yeah.
I said, it's a guy, he doesn't rap, you know? He shared with me what he does. I looked at his page, he has a nice following. I said, I want to bring this guy on. And he was like, oh, for what? And I was like, because usually we've had artists here. We said, when I say artists, whether they're R&B artists, rap artists, or we've had authors here, we've had comedians here. I even had a mayor here, the first Latina mayor ever voted in the city of Downey.
Yeah,
I interviewed her here. So we had comedians here, but here we have Rockin Chicano. So I want to ask you, for the people that may be watching, like, and maybe this is the first time they're introduced to you, who is Rockin Chicano?
Rockin Chicano is Anthony Tavares, a.k.a. Lazy from Bottom Norwalk, ex-gang member, ex-leader founder of the Tokers, one of the notorious cliques of Norwalk, born and raised in Norwalk. I was born in General Hospital. My family was already in Norwalk. Lived there my whole life. I still live there in the hood. That's why I admire you a lot. You know what I mean? I give you a lot of props, homie, you know?
Gracias.
A lot of people get their little feria and bounce, which is nothing wrong with that. But born and raised there, bro, and ex-gang member, and just been tough, homie. But Rockin Chicano now, it's a name brand. It's a brand. I'm the founder of 297 sarapes. Have more color designs than Tlaxcala itself. The founder of the sarape jacket, toppers. I do big car shows, big events. I'm out there. I go live after work, after doing the shows. I go live on social media and just blows up. A lot of work, T. Oh my God.
I can tell.
It's a lot of work.
Those sarapes are dope, though.
Yeah.
The jackets. But by the way, I got after somebody wants some info on how to get one. So
well, Spencer, bro. Speaking of that, I know people bring you so much stuff and gifts, so it's only right that I had to bring you my gift to you. So let's start off with, you know what? We're gonna start off with a few things. I got a few gifts, homie. and don't laugh at this, dog.
no, I'm not.
Okay, look, homie. Everybody brings you pisto here.
Yes,
Everybody,
tequila.
you know, and that's your favorite. But you said if I ever come on, bring whatever I want, that is my favorite.
Yeah.
So I brought you a case of Diet Coke, sister.
Okay, just put it right here. A case of Diet Cokes. Okay.
All right, and then you know, tear it up with some Takis for you, homie.
Oh man.
Hey, homie, I don't drink, carnal, so I gotta take care of you. And then
There we go.
we got some pico picas for you.
Oh yeah, those are. I've been having these since I was a kid.
Remember the pica picas?
Yeah.
Some mazapans for you, homie.
Oh yeah. Just gotta try not to break them.
And some
That's amazing.
gancitos for you.
Oh
homie.
yes. Oh yeah. My grandbabies are gonna love these right here. This is almost like a what do you call that package that you get in prison?
A care package.
A care package.
And Viva la Raza hat.
Oh,
dog.
shoot.
Look at that. That's
Oh, look
Rockin
at that hat.
Chicano. Viva la Raza. And speaking of your jackets, here it is.
Oh, brown and beautiful. Brown and beautiful.
Infamous sarape jacket.
The infamous sarape jackets. Alex, put the camera right here real fast. Let me show this off. The infamous sarape jacket. So here it is right here. That's dope.
And here you go, homie. The first tintan ever, dog.
Oh, shoot.
On that color.
Wow.
Is that firme or what?
Man, this is a blessing, bro.
That tintan, they made it for me, dog. All the way from Mexico. I made him in black first.
Okay.
And then purple. Spanky had the first one from Notorious Entertainment. But this is the first one on that color, bro. So that's all you tintan.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be here. I almost feel because I'm definitely going to put it in the center now. But this right here is amazing, bro. And I was sported with the hat. Watch.
So that's your
Y'all ain't
size.
ready.
You asked for that size, so there it is,
Yes,
brother.
thank
You know?
Thank you. That's a true blessing. Man, I think that's probably been the best gift so far on Roadium Radio, huh? That's right. Rockin Chicano. Thank you.
I know you don't drink beast. I don't drink beast, homie, so I got to hook you up with my favorites.
Yes,
You know?
some Diet Cokes. You want to get one right now, or?
No, I'm
Okay.
I'm straight, bro. Thank you, but I always I'm addicted to Diet Coke, homie. That's
All
why I
right.
gained so much weight.
Okay. How many Cokes you think you drink a day?
I had to slow down, bro, because I was drinking about 5 a day.
For reals?
Yeah, so I slowed down for the last whole year, and I've been trying to take care of my health a little bit more. But see, since I do all the promoting, investing, and all that, bro, I don't really have time for the gym, and I gotta go. You know, so it's usually a coffee, a Diet Coke, and a water. So usually, well, now I just gotta cut back on the Diet Coke and I'll stick to the coffee and the water.
Right. I'll drink them. Don't worry. Yeah. Nah, but you know what? Definitely, you got to definitely start hitting the gym again, man. Because I know you say it's a time thing, but gym for me is like PE and like therapy. Yeah. Especially going into the sauna.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a member at 24 Hour Fitness right here in Carson. So I go there and I know everybody. So I can get a spot anytime I want, you know.
Yeah.
But I love it there, man.
Yeah, we have our sponsors own a gym, and I got them the contract there, Fit Nation in Norwalk. And we're just like family there, you know, and the doors are open 24/7 for us. But we're like, come on, I tell my family, vámonos, and I take the kids and everything, you know. But we're there. We're trying to do the best we can, you know, when we can. Like you said, it's your time, you know, to just have peace.
You know, you had mentioned that you were born in General Hospital. Are you talking about the one right here in Torrance?
The one in East LA, Boyle Heights.
Okay, I was born in the one right here in Torrance. I said, we weren't born in the same place, were we?
Yeah, you know, it's a trip. Speaking of that, I had a good celly of mine, Primo from Compton, Largo, and me and him started doing time since we were kids, bro. And you know, we had the same birthday. You know, we were born the same day, and we were in camp, juvenile. We went to county, and you know, like they used to say back in the days, as the people that you grow up with in the criminal lifestyle, you're gonna see them in the joint. And sure enough, yeah, he was my celly in one of the joints. So we finally get to like chop it up real good because we were cellies. So we're like, yeah, so what's up, fool? We have the same date, huh? And I'm like, yeah. Where were you born at? General Hospital. What, homie? So our jefitas were the same day at that same place.
Same place.
You know, he goes, yeah. So met a lot of people in the joint, good people, dog. You know what I mean? Pero, you know, as you go on with life, and that's what we're doing now, and we just keep on pushing and try to forget the past, you know, when you can, you know?
You had mentioned also that you grew up in Norwalk. So you pretty much grew up there your entire life.
Yeah.
And did you come from a big family, a lot of brothers and sisters?
The story is this, T. My uncles, my older uncles are about 70. They came down and to Bellflower, Norwalk, and Artesia. And they came in huaraches in the early, like in 60, 61, I think. And they hooked up, one of them hooked up with one of my tias, which is my homeboy, little man's prima, right? Tia, that's his tia. So they got married and they had kids, and she was one of the founders of the barrio. So that's how our family got established in the neighborhood. My other uncle started doing his, you know, this papaya and selling dope and doing all that stuff and he ended up getting a business, and he was my grandma's cousin, and he passed away already, but you know, he kind of established a family in Norwalk, so we all got there. My sister supposedly got kidnapped by my grandma in Mexico, so everybody came to United States in the late 60s, so my mom was the last one. So all my uncles were already from the barrio, everything, and my mom was the last one. Well, she ends up hooking up with El Coyote. So my dad is El Coyote, you know. He was the one that crossed her over, and we were born. I was born, then my brother was born, and he abandoned ship, you know. My mom had a lot to do with it, bro. She was wild. She was a fichera. If you don't know what a fichera is, somebody who's always in the bars, trying to get them to buy drinks, get them drunk, take their feria and whatnot. So after that, she came over to Norwalk. I was born here, and you know, and after that, we just lived it hard, It was hard, homie. They had feria, my family had feria, my sister was with my grandma and them, and half of them were bikers, hippies, and the other half was cholos, you know?
Yeah.
So we listened to rock, Tex-Mex, and oldies, homie. So it was a gacho combination, but we know the oldies, we know the rock, we know everything, you know? So after that, my jefita kept on doing her things, and we lived in cars, hotels. I'll never forget the hotels, dog.
Wow.
And the calles, the parques, 2 a.m, walking around with the luggage. But my jefita and my grandma didn't have a good relationship. They were always fighting, you know. They had a personal grudge, and I just grew up, dog. So the uncles were already from the barrio. So I became from the barrio, you know. I became one of the founders of the clique there in the one-ways. And I just grew up, homie, and did what I had to do, and gangbangs, stole the ranflas. In the 80s, bro, 80s, it was hard, Golly, man, it was just horrible, homie. Every barrio. You know, the from what we know now, the studies between 87 and 93 was the worst gang years of LA County.
Yes,
you know?
yes. You know, let me just share something, and I want to give people a picture of what possibly, not only did I go through, but possibly what you've seen as well. Hip hop, or should I say rap, gangster rap, was exploding, okay? And especially around those years that you were talking about. Then you had the crack epidemic.
Yeah.
And gang violence was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
So I've always said this, you know, jokingly, that if I could survive that, I could survive COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But every week, I'm sure every barrio had somebody dying.
Yeah.
Multiple, you know. And it was just sad because sometimes we would pull up to because the number one, the Wiener Schnitzel ever is right here in Wilmington.
Yeah.
So we used to pull up because one of our homies used to work there.
Yeah.
Somebody used to pull up, hey, here so-and-so got some just smoke. Where? There was a party at a ghost town, and somebody just put the gun over the fence and just started blasting and got him on the back of the head.
Yeah.
And we're like, holy shit. So we already know who pretty much did it. There's going to be, so it was like that every week.
Yeah.
Can you give us a picture of possibly what it was like in Norwalk during that time?
Well, Beat Street had came out, all those movies had came out, Boulevard Nights had came out.
Yeah.
I think, to me, bro, this is my saying, dog. I think one of the most movies influential that had a lot to do with it had to be Colors, dog.
Yes.
Oh my God, it just blew up. And at that time, Eazy-E and everybody was coming out. To us, we lived in Norwalk, homie. We didn't really listen to a lot of rap, dog. We listened to funk, old school, Parliaments. You know, we listened to that old stuff. But the crack did start hitting Norwalk. You know, we're in southeast of LA, so Norwalk is known for Norwalk for the court and the one-ways. So at that time, bro, it was just hard. All the cliques were all together. The neighborhood blew up big. It was registered at 3,200 gang members from Norwalk statewide.
Wow.
At that time, and we were just ruthless, bro. You know, every gang was ruthless at that time, bro. I'm not just gonna say us, but everybody, you know?
Yeah.
And they just were serving something that wasn't really there. It was just a fantasy, bro. You know, don't take it personal, who's ever listening, but in reality, there's no 401k to that, you know? It's either the coffin or prison, you know? And thank God that I went to prison, you know? I started doing I picked up my first big charge, I think at 13, was 4 kidnap robberies with a high-speed chase to end up with 16 freaking dollars of food stamps, homie.
And how old were you?
I was about 14, dog.
14 years old.
Yeah, and we ended up in Compton. I think. And we picked up the charges from Compton. We went to court, and the people didn't show up. Back then, if they didn't show up, you'd win the case.
Yeah.
And I won the case. This was still pending over it, because remember, they have about a year to file against you again. I picked up Grand Theft Auto with the $100 PCP pour possession, so that fell under attempt of murder. Anything over a $20 pour was attempt of murder. I got busted for that. I got busted for armed robberies, but that PCP one, it got me good. I ended up going to juvenile hall. Finally, like, they kept me there, you know. And my jefita at that time, she was just trying to get her life in order, homie, you know. But her health was deteriorating from diabetes. And I went to camp, I went to juvenile hall. I went to the camps, I went to the holes, I went to everything, and got out, and I was about 16, bro, and picked up my ranfla. They sent me a fat check from camp that I thought I would never, I mean, you don't expect that feria.
Right.
And I end up cashing it in, buying my ranfla, my cutlass, all low rider down.
Got some dates on it?
Full of bullet holes. I was just telling my homeboy, had a gang of bullet holes and everything, and we were just ruthless. I was just in a mad world, bro. PCP, high-speed chases. One time I was just so fed up with life. I was about 16, and I just, if I see me and I had a stolen car, and she lived somewhere in Whittier, I think, in La Habra. And I just pulled up, and I knew I was going away, and I just said, hey, man, I'm just tired of all this. And she goes, what are you talking about? He goes, and I was under the influence of PCP. And I grabbed the gun, and I spun the bullet in there, and I pulled the trigger. My head was like passing out, bro, you know, and I just wanted to end my life, dog. It was just ruthless, so I just did the Russian roulette in front of her, like, man, I hate this life, you know. And
you know, let me ask something. Wow. So you did that in front of your mother. You were in a stolen car, and you were fed up with life, but you were 16 years old.
Yeah.
Can you kind of share with us what does it feel to be a 16-year-old with a fed up life? Meaning, like, what got it there for you to say at 16 years old, to being such a young man, and to say, I'm tired of this? Obviously, you had went through so much. Was there more, or what do you think it was? Was it one thing, multiple things?
It was just a thing of multiple things, I would have to say, T, because, you know, you grow up, no food, no shoes, homie, holes in your pants, didn't have a house. You would live, and they would rent you a room, and that's it for a month, 2 months, and you had to move, and no bed. I didn't know what a bed was, homie, until I got to juvenile hall. You know, I didn't know what a bed was, homie. You know, it's sad, you know, but it was gacho. But I just got fed up because I didn't understand what life was about, homie. I have no peers over me, no people explaining to me or guiding me or directing me into what you're going to expect things out of life, or the direction or the path or education or anything. You know, they didn't explain nothing to me. I would just go to school and just listen. And, you know, my little brother, they would never tell me, my little brother, where's your little carnal at? they would say, "Where's your son at?" Because I took care of him while the mom was doing her things, and
Right.
I don't blame the jefita, dog. You know what I mean? It's just that's the way the cars were dealt with in life.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of take it a little personal now. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I love the kids. I love look at your grandkids. You're like, oh man, they stir me up because that's the next generation.
Yes.
You don't know what them kids have been. Or
Yes.
but I don't know. So whatever I could do to make them smile or get, that's my number one get down, homie.
Yes,
If I
yes.
see a kid, what's up, homie? Make them feel special in life, bro. You know, and speak life into existence to them because they're the next generation, bro.
Yes.
I
yes.
don't know what them kids been through, your grandkids, you know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
but sometimes you bump into people that you don't know what their kids are going through, but a smile will go a long way.
A long way. Absolutely.
You know?
I had one more question before we go to a break. I wanted to ask you, you think it's possible that maybe you were the way you were possibly because of the absence of a father? Could that be something that possibly, maybe that's why some of these kids are the way they are? Maybe the absence of a father's not there, or possibly the absence of a mother.
I'm very strict with my kids, though. Little man knows that. They work hard. They play hard. I'm very focused with them, bro. I know the things that I lacked as a child, and I'm preventing it from my kids of having the same thing. I think, I know people would disagree. Well, I didn't have a dad. I grew up great. You had those opportunities. You never had that heart of a gangster inside of you. You never had that misleading mentality in you. Maybe you had to focus and be thankful that you came out of that. Be thankful that you made it out. But for the rest of us that didn't make it out like that, pray for them,
Yeah.
Of course, I believe that the parents have a lot in it, and I think it might have been through my head. I'm pretty sure it was, homie, you know what I mean? Because I heard he's a good dude, I heard he's still alive. I haven't met him, I just got contacted about a year ago from this young lady. She was 17. And she goes, are you this person? Are you that person? Are you this? Are you that? Is your mom this? I'm like, yeah. And who are you? Well, I'm your sister. I'm 17 years old. And I'm like, golly, you still having kids?
Yeah.
So I just said, you know what? Live your life, mija. You're young. Enjoy it. Keep on going forward. Don't depend on people that weren't there. If they weren't there, there was for a reason. But you still have life and you go forward in life. So, yeah, maybe it was, bro. You know what I mean? But I don't dwell on it now, bro.
Yeah.
I don't hate them. I don't hold a grudge. I just live life and I make sure that my kids don't lack nothing like that,
Absolutely.
And that's why I love the kids, homie. You know what I mean? I see them, what's up? Man, T, when I'm working, I have a big old booth, homie. The kids, they already know me. They come up, one of them, she's so beautiful, dog. She's small. And she has this big old smile. She's a little gabachita, and she don't have an arm, homie. But I've always blessed them since day one and so she'll come up, hey, and you know what I mean? Like, hey, you. And I would like, oh my God. And she gives me a big hug. I'm like, okay, man, get whatever you want. And the majority of the time, T, I don't charge the kids, homie. I don't.
Right,
I mean,
right.
If I'm there, bless them, get a toy, get whatever. I don't care,
Awesome.
Because it's very important. That's our next generation, brother.
That's right. That's right. We're going to go ahead and take a pause right there. We're going to come right back after a 10-minute break. So once again, everybody call somebody, text somebody. You guys know the rest. Make sure you guys let them know that Rockin Chicano's in the building, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Welcome back, everyone, to Roadium Radio episode 257. That's right, 257. And I want to thank everybody once again who's tuned in, like, comment, subscribed, all that. Once again, send in your music with a short bio and a few videos, if you have any, to roadiumradio@gmail.com. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and jump right back into it with Rockin Chicano. My brother, ¿cómo estás?
We're good, huh? It was a good little break.
Yeah, you enjoying yourself, man?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, dog. It's different.
Yes. I'm enjoying this as well, too, and I'm enjoying Tintan right here. I'm enjoying the Takis and the Diet Cokes and the Mazapan and the Pico Picas, and then I can't wait to sport the jacket and the hat. This is definitely, for me, like a summer hat. I'm going to sport this sucker right here. Take off my shirt, rub a little lotion, and walk around the beach, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just like that. Now, carnal, let's pick up right where we left off. 16 years old in the barrio of Norwalk.
I ended up going back in. I picked up. I was 16. I went to camp. Got out. When I got out, I had another ranfla. They took me to continuation school. So I'm thinking I could go back into life, you know. And my homeboy gets out. We were in campo together, and he's like my carnal, Grumpy. He's out there in Mexico. And he gets out. I'm out. We're all out. Oh, man. So we're at school. We come out, and we've been partying, and we've been drinking. So we decided to rob the liquor store across the street. So I have the ranfla. We have everything. We robbed them, took off. We ended up in a high-speed chase. We ended up in Diamond Bar somewhere. And
Really?
they gaffled us up. I turned barely 17. And we get gaffled up. And they offered us 6 years in youth authority. Yeah, that's right. And my homeboy, he was crazy. He told the public pretender, tell the judge to shut.
You said public pretender.
Yeah, he told him, tell him we said, not he said, we said to shove the 6 years where the sun don't shine. And I was like, oh, man. But he was a knucklehead, and the judge called our names, told us to stand up, and says, if you guys are willing to speak like men, you guys going to be trialed as men. Bail set at $250,000, and today you go to the county jail. So they sent me to the county jail at 17, homie, Orange County. And it was rough, homie. I was 17 years old, dog. It was hard, homie. And back then, you know, I don't speak political and all that on the mic and all that. But there was some issues back then with the counties. And I was from L.A., and oh, my God, homie, I guess, you know, things happen. I got beat down like a circus monkey, homie, you know, and they gaffled me up. The Judas gaffled me up. I was black and blue, homie, and, you know, and after that, they grabbed me and they said they didn't like me there, bro. The Judas didn't like me there, bro. You know, when you commit a crime and you're from, okay, let's go with Orange County and L.A., you ain't wanted out there, bro. By the Judas. Oh, they hate people from L.A., bro. You know, because they don't want the same things in Orange County because they're already dealing with their issues, you know?
Right.
And the Judas gaffled me up, threw me against the wall. I told you, little punk, you ain't wanted here, this and that. And they threw me back into the modules, bro. I was black and blue. And you know, I didn't, how can I say, bro? I stood up for mine, bro. I remember one guy got on top of me and he was trying to bite off my Norwalk tattoo in the back. I bring him down, and I was full of energy, homie. He couldn't bring me down, you know?
Right.
And after that, I ended up fighting my case. I was in GP. All my time that I've done, I've never been in PC, dog. It's always been general population for me, dog, you know? I mean, to each his own, you know? But when I was facing all those trials and tribulations, dog, and my life took a turn, dog. I didn't say this to you, you know, it's kind of hard for me to speak, homie, you know. I had a son, dog, you know, in that time. And another gang member, right when I got out, within all that time when I was out there, and there was another gang member that he ended up hooking up with my baby's mom. And he ends up taking off with her right when I got out. And I figure, you know what, it is what it is, you know. And he ended up, the cases that he choked the baby and he killed him, you know. So my 8-month-old baby got strangled by another gang member. I'm lost, homie. I'm just on a sick one, bro. And that's when I just said to myself, you know what, it's on. I'm gonna go hunt this fool down.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I got into a big ruckus, big mess, and heading out towards the county, gonna go chase this fool down. You know, everything was just mixed up, dog. Everything, homie.
And at this point in your life, how old were you?
17, dog.
17 years old, okay.
17, dog.
Wow.
And after that, I tried to go chase him down. My homeboy ended up fighting the case. He ended up taking the whole case. He went to YA. They gave me joint suspension, so I'm like, okay, I can't catch up to this fool. This fool's still fighting the case. I can't go to his county. So by the time he fights the case, it's going to take about 3-4 years, you know? By that time, I'll finish the term. So why go up to the joint now? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to plead out, let my homeboy take the rap, because he was already taking the rap. He ended up getting, I think, 9 years and YA 7 years. And he took the rap. I ended up getting a joint suspension. I put in about 13 months. I'm 18 by the time I'm out. You know, my jefita's health has already deteriorated. She's already getting dialysis. My carnal's high on dope. We're still living here and there, homes, you know. I have no place to really stay. And, you know, everything was just hitting rock bottom, homie. And all the pressure was hitting me even more and harder. And I was just getting high, doing robberies, doing everything that I could think of just to try to almost end the life, homie, you know?
Yeah.
And I ended up picking up 4 attempted murders. They dropped them down to 2 with an M1 assault rifle. And I figured I could go chase this fool down. I could go catch up to him. I had vengeance in my heart. I was angry. I was depressed. I was everything, dog. And I remember going to the Crystal Cathedral right there in Orange County and drove out there. I was already lost, homes, and just having a cussing conversation with God, you know. I was just cussing up a storm in front of that temple, dog, and nobody was there. It was in the middle of the night, homes, you know, and I figured, you know, all this, my whole world is just deteriorating little by little, you know, and I ended up picking up those charges. I got into a high-speed chase. I got away when they raided the house. I got away, homie, and the last time, man, homie, I got away. I picked up a G-Ride. I was doing highlights, the insurance frauds and all that through their stolen cars, and I was doing the robberies, the gang banging on them and turning them around and burning them and collecting on the insurance. I was young. I was 18. And one day, I knew my time was coming to an end. My mom's health was already deteriorating. Gacho. She ended up in the hospital. And I pulled up with the strap, a stolen car downstairs, and I walked up to her and I gave her a kiss on her forehead like I would always do, you know? And I couldn't really look at her, bro, because I wanted answers.
Yeah.
And I was looking on top of the facility because the windows are out and you could see the air conditioners and all that. It was at the hospital. You know how the hospital has the roofs and all that. And I just started explaining to her about the life that we lived. After I'd done explaining to her, I turned around and I asked her, Mom, what the heck became out of our lives? We don't have a dad. You're dying. I'm in the run for 4 attempted murders. My brother's all doped up in the game, you know, and we don't have no roof. We don't have no money. I'm downstairs with the stolen car strapped up. Where in the heck did we go wrong? Tell me. And all she did was put her head down. And that explained to me that she knew the things that she had done wrong.
Yeah.
I was already going to go to prison, you know, and I walked up to her and I gave her a kiss in her forehead. And I just told her, I la miro, jefita. And I walked away, and that's the last time I seen her alive. I took off, homie, and did my things. And about a day later, I get in a big old high-speed chase. Judas caught me and put a beating on me, and, you know, and I go off, and they send me to county jail, and I took all the charges. I had the robbery in Orange County. They ran it concurrent, and I got on the phone, and it was about 9 months later, and I go, hey, let me speak to my mom, you know, and she was sick, bro, sick. And she goes, I go, hey, yeah, I'm going to prison. And she's all like, oh, okay, pues, you know, I'll write when I can. All right, pues, and I love you, that's it, and that was it. When I get to prison, I didn't speak to her, I didn't speak to nobody, but I get to the yard, and they already explained to you, program office is not allowed. Either you become PC, or you PC'd up, or you're snitching, right. You know, or somebody dies. So when they call me up, the lieutenant, he's all like, have a seat, Mr. Tabares. I'm like, nah, I'm cool, you know what I mean? They called me up to go to the program office. I was like, nah, I'm okay, I'm straight. He goes, you're straight? I go, yeah. And he's all like, well, I guess you don't want to know that your mom passed away this morning, huh? Like, I knew it, you know, and I just walked away. And that, homie, it tore me apart. I think the hardest part in a man's life is losing a jefita, dog.
Absolutely.
You know?
100%.
That is the lowest point of your life. When I went back to the cell, I remember I walked the yarda. I was just numb. And my cellie goes, I know what you're going through. Wizard from Harbor City. Good dude. He goes, hey, my jefita passed away when I was in Pelican Bay. So I know what you're going through. It's okay to cry. I couldn't cry, homie. You know, I was too numb. And in my mind, it's like, vengeance. As soon as I catch this vato, I'm going to take everything out on this fool, you know? Maybe I just wanted an excuse, you know what I mean, in life.
Yeah, you know what? No, you're absolutely right when it comes to your mom, because without going too deep into it, you know, my mom was like the world to me. And when she was in hospice and my sisters and brothers were taking care of her, I have to live with this now that I didn't go see her much because I didn't want to see her like the way you said when somebody's health is deteriorating.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to see them like that. You don't want to remember them like that.
Yeah.
But then you get that phone call, hey, you know, she passed away already.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, and it's been like 11 years, okay?
Yeah.
And there doesn't a day go by that obviously that a man doesn't miss his mother. You know, my father died. It was a little bit different. I loved him the same. But for some reason with him, I still think he's alive.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ask my dad. And then I can't even finish the sentence because I remember, go ask him if he wants to go eat breakfast.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really, really hard, man. And I don't wish that on nobody, you know. And I think in my heart, I was very unprepared for my mother passing away because I told my older brother, look, I know we're getting old, but I never grow up thinking one day I'm going to lose my mother.
Yeah.
I always just think I'm going to grow old with my mother.
Yeah.
You know, we never think of that expiration date, is what I'm saying. So believe me, it's very, very tough when you lose your mother. So
it was I had spoken to her like maybe a week before, bro, and she was very, very sick. That's the last time I had spoken to her on the phone, and my brother got on the phone, and I know he was doped up, and he's all like, "Why did you leave us, Tony? Tony, you know?" And I'm like, man, you know, I have to live my life, you know. And my mom said, "¿Y cuánto te dieron? You know, how much did they give you?" I said, Mom, me quitaron las vidas, 2 lives they took off of me, and they gave me 11 years. And I had told her that in prison, you know. I couldn't tell her that in the county, you know. And and after that, she just broke down. He goes, man, I expect for you. You know, it was hard, T, because everything what they expected out of me, bro, it was like thrown at me like they expected for me to get the whole family forward, to get them out of the rut, to like the whole chips were depending on me.
Yes.
You know, and I couldn't even depend on myself, homie, because I was lost, you know, and that's the last time I spoke to her. Then they gave me the phone for the program office, and I was just numb, dog. I got all tatted down and, you know, raising up my hands to do the things that I had to do, you know, and, you know, I've been through the yards. I've been through everything. I came out, carnal, and they had rumors that my brother was mentally insane, literally living in the guys barefooted and everything. And,
Wow.
you know, when I seen him, when I paroled and, you know, went back to trying to live a life where you have no clue where to even begin at, T. You know, I didn't catch up to the vato. The vato had me down as an enemy, you know, so CDC doesn't let you go near those yards, you know, so there goes that, you know, and I was like, man, maybe I'll get out, Holmes, you know, I will get out. And sure enough, I got out. I did about 6 and some change. And when I got out, I see my brother, homie, and I yelled out his name, Oscar, you know, and he stopped and he looked at me, and it was true, homie. He was homeless, long hair, and just a 5150, homie.
Wow.
And I picked him up. I tried to hop him, you know, and I gave him everything that I could, and I hopped him out. And, man, homie, my tia pulls me to the side, you know, about a week later. She goes, Tony, I have to, you know. My loved ones, homie, that know me call me Tony. You know, the people that Anthony came from the system, you know.
Right, right.
And he goes, Tony, I have something to tell you, mijo. And I go, what's that? And he goes, please don't take it wrong or whatever, but when your mom was already dying, your brother would put hands on her and put a beating on her for her Social Security. And she ended up dying in the hospital right after your brother went to go visit her. Oh, that crushed me, T. Oh, that crushed me so bad, homie. I just like, the evil side of me just blew up, dog. Like, you know? And I just like grabbed my face. I said, you know what, T? In this lifetime, dog, when you do your things, homie, you're never the same, dog.
Yeah.
When you have bloodshed in your hands, dog, you pay. You pay in life. You know, it doesn't get washed off. I don't care how many times you talk to God, speak to him, he'll soothe the wounds. He'll be there, but you're never the same. You pay in this life, homie. And sure enough, I paid, you know, and I said, he's going to be another person. I'm going to take care of him, you know. And my tia grabbed me. I remember she grabbed me against the door and she said, mijo, he's already paying. Ya está pagando la vida. Look at him. He's like a dog in the street. Why would you even want to put hands or get dirty? Let God deal with him.
Yeah.
I was just still quiet. I said, do you even know what you're saying? You know, do you even know what I'm capable of? I was ruthless, bro. I was an evil individual, homie, you know? And I let it be, dog. She begged me. I let it be. After that, I just said, to heck with it, homie. Let me try to live a life. Try to live a life, homie. You know what? I cut him loose. After I cut him loose, I just let him, I just let him be whatever he had to be in life, homie.
Yeah.
And I just went back to my old ways, dog. I just...
At that point in your life, when you saw him, how old were you now?
I was 26 already, 25, 26
Okay.
already, dog. But I was gone away for a few years, dog, like
Yeah.
25.
Yeah. Now, you, how old were you when you said you drove to the Crystal Cathedral and you said you had a cousin come?
17.
17. Let me give you a hypothetical scenario. It was at night, you're the only one there, and you're crying, and you're reaching out to God. If you can walk up to your 17-year-old self right then and there, what would you say to him?
I would pick him up. I would like, hey, homie, it'll be all right. The path is gonna be hard, carnal. It's gonna be rough, but I guarantee you, it's well worth it. You know, sometimes T. The story that I love the most, dog. One of the most that I love is Moses in the Bible, dog. He was crazy, Holmes. He used to stutter. He was once a king. He was abandoned. He became a king, and he became a murderer. And he argued with God. He took the long way around. Never got to the promised land, but he got to see it. The 2-week journey became a 40-year journey, you know? And through those desert events, homie, is what everybody goes through in life, homie, you know? And Spencer, I love it because we could reflect on that, you know? And it's very important that just because the desert's there doesn't mean he ain't gonna feed you. It said that he fed manna for 40 years. Yeah. He gave you shoes for 40 years. Their clothes never wore off, you know?
Right.
But the people that were 40 and over didn't get to see the promised land, you know? Except for Joshua and them, you know? But we could learn off of that. It's very important.
Another thing that I want to encourage people that are watching is that Moses fled Egypt when he was 40 years old, and God used him at 80 years old to go back and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. So what that tells me that it doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of times, a lot of people, ya se me acabó la vida.
Yeah.
You know, my life is over. I'm already old. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. God can still use you.
And one of the scriptures says that when they were fighting the Canaanites and all that, he was already old. He said he was fine like if he was 40. So 40 is your peak, homie. For all you vatos out there, 40 is your peak, homie, you know? That's your primes, homie, you know?
Very true. Very
so
true.
That it encourages me a lot, dog. So I would go back and tell him it's well worth it, you know? It's a rough road, but, you know, I don't hold any grudges against God, homie, at all. Everything that I have is because of him, you know? Pero if I could go back, I said, it's well worth it, homie. Get up.
Right.
Get up. Stop tripping. Fireworks.
Yeah.
Those fireworks. We're in the barrio.
We're in the barrio.
In the barrio.
You got dudes buying $200 boxes of skyrockets by eating top ramen.
Save your feria. Save your money. Trust me, you need it.
Yes.
But I would say that to myself, bro. You know, at that time after I cut my brother and I end up, it's a trip, Tony, because at that time I was going to the gym, American Eagle gym in Norwalk. And I would try to take my frustrations out on the gym, you know?
Right.
And when I would do that, I would be like, all right, feed, man. Let me just keep on doing this. Strap on the duffel bag, everything. You know, I was active, you know? And this negro, Moreno, he tried to be my friend, dog. He would see me and he'd be like, hey, Holmes, hey, man, you're on parole? What the heck? Of course I'm parole. What's your problem? You're a hooter, huh? You're a cop, huh? And he's all like, nah, man, I'm a district attorney. And like, what? Like, man, I can't mess with you. I'm feeding me. And he would go to the gym. And you know what this vato would do, dog? Try to make conversations with me. And when he would try to make conversations, I would dodge him like, whatever, Holmes, let me just get here and get some free time. And you know what this guy would do, dog? He would put money. Okay, because the American Eagle gym was small in Norwalk. So the shower was so tiny that you would leave your shoes on the side or whatever outside the shower. It was so small. And he would put feria on my shoes, bro. And at one time I threw it back at him, dog. You know, I go, you don't be doing that, Holmes. What's your problem, homie? He was, nah, I just figured that you need some money. And what makes you think that, Holmes? You know? And I go, I got everything that I need. I'm straight. And he tried to be my friend, T. I always try to be my friend, dog. He stopped doing the shoot thing, homie, you know? And I would see him in the gym. And then finally, I picked up a case over my baby's mom, and big old commotion because of the kids and this and that, bro. And it was just hell, homie. And Judas come. I get an assault with the Judas, and they gaffle me up, and I'm already facing my 3 strikes, bro.
Wow.
So I'm in Downey Court. I'm in Downey Court, homie, and I'm there, and I'm like, damn, man, what am I going to do now? Before that day had happened, I went to a Catholic church, homie, and I asked God, hey, man, I don't, me and you don't get down like this, but I feel I'm getting busted. I don't know if you for reals, who, what, when, where, but if this is your house, you hear me talking to you. I've had a rough patches with you. You know, we had our get downs, you know, and I don't dig you. You don't dig me. And I just need some help. That's it. Help me with this thing called life. Next day, boom, I was facing 3 strikes on me. That same night, I was facing 3 strikes. I got busted. The next day, they charged me with the 3 strikes, bro. And I was like, man, where's my help? Man, homie, where's my help? I go back outside, homes. I'm already at the Downey Court. And I walk in with the gaffle down with all the inmates. And I had my head down. And, you know, and all of a sudden, somebody taps me on the right shoulder. I look up, homie. Who was it? It was a district attorney, T.
Wow.
It was the district attorney that tried to be my friend, homie. But see, back then, dog, now I'm cool. I could have a conversation with whoever, dog. But back then, when you live that lifestyle, that's a no-no, homie.
Yeah.
You know? Heck no, district attorney? What am I, snitch or what, you know?
Yeah.
So I never, you know, had a conversation with them, feed me or who he was or what he was, homie. And the vato goes, he tapped on my shoulder, and he goes, you're in a lot of trouble, Anthony. I go, Eric, help me, homie. Help me, dog. And he goes, whatever I give you, you're going to have to take. He goes, do you trust me? I'm like, yeah, I trust you, whatever. And you know what's the question he hit me with, T?
What's that?
Am I your friend? I looked at him, and he just wanted me to say that I was his friend, dog. I don't know for what reason, homie, but maybe because I did needed a friend, homie, you know? So I go, Simon, you're my friend. You know, I look at the inmates. They're looking at me like, how do you know this, DA? And he gave me 5 years, dog. I took it in a heartbeat. When I got there, T, back to the cell, I seen this Bible, homie, and I took that Bible with me, dog. I was no Christian. In prison, I rode, homie. I did my things, homie. I picked up the shoe. I did everything. But in that Bible, dog, I would read whatever sounded understanding to me, any kind of wisdom, knowledge to give me a peace of mind.
Yes.
So I would go from prison to hole. I would get caught up on riots and everything, and that darn Bible wouldn't leave me, dog. It wouldn't leave me, homie. And I was still doing pegadas, whatever, dog. I rode. I was a rider, homie. I was a sureño. I was no cristiano, homie, you know?
Yeah.
But I had it with me, you know? I figured it'd give me a peace of mind, understanding. And 2 months before paroling, there was another incident, and I ended up doing some stuff, and the charges weren't picked up. I paroled. And when I paroled, I had the Bible with me, dog. I decided to go to church. I paroled to Skid Row, T. Nowhere to go, South Parole. This is what my third number that I picked up already. I'm already on trying to come out of a sick one. I just said, I think I'm done. I'm done with everything, you know? And I don't know where to go, dog. I end up going to downtown. I end up, after that, the following day, I called up my compadre. And I go, hey, Holmes, pick me up, homie. He goes, why don't you get out? I go, just pick me up.
Let's press pause right there. And we're going to pick up right where we left off. Pick me up. Okay, and there's some questions I want to ask you pertaining to the Bible when we come back. So, okay, everybody, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Man, I didn't want to press pause. Believe me, I didn't, because I was glued. But you know what? I like to keep a tight schedule. So once again, we're going to continue after 10 minutes. So once again, call somebody, text somebody, and let them know that Rockin Chicano is in the building. Welcome back, everyone, to Roadium Radio episode 257. And we're going to go ahead and jump right back into it with Rockin Chicano. So far, it's been a blessing, brother. I appreciate you being so transparent, so humble enough to share your life. And I know sometimes it can be very, very difficult, especially involving a mother that is no longer here with us. So rest in peace to her. Having a brother like that, all your struggles, I just want to thank you ahead of time for being so transparent and blessing us with your story. So I wanted to pick up right where we left off, or that I'm out, pick me up.
Oh, well, thank you, brother. You know, I know that you asked me when you called me earlier and you said, I want to hear your story. You know, a lot of times when they ask that, it's not them, it's God. You know, I'm a big, firm believer of God. And I'm not a Bible thumper like that, you know. Communication is understanding, you know. And by you asking me that, Simon, you know, it's a blessing to be here. You know, the story got deep. I don't go too deep, dog, because I got to come back out of it, you know.
Yeah.
But I give you little ends here and there, you know. Pero back to the story of him picking me up. Few years before I had gotten that term again, I was a car show, menudo breakfast, and a car wash at a church. All of them at the same time.
Really?
I was crudos. I was loaded. I was coming down. I had no sleep, and I had this Oldsmobile, nice one, hooked up, and I pulled up, and they washed the car because I needed my ranfla washed, and I grabbed some menudos to wake up, and I'm getting up and they want to preach me the word. And I was like, I ain't got time for this. But I dig the ranflas and I was checking out the cars while I'm eating menudo. Ole, pues a ratos, homie, you know, and I left. And later on, I ended up getting busted, like I mentioned, and then I got out. So when I'm in downtown, I tell my compadre, he goes, where are you going to go? You know, and you want to go back to the barrio? You want to go? Where do you want me to go take you? And I told him, you know what, Holmes? Take me to the church where there was a lowrider show. And he's like, what? I go, just take me to the church, homie. And he took me to this Catholic church, homie. And I was like, man. Now, remember, I paroled. I didn't have no parole clothes. And what paroled with me was my book, the Bible. But I read it so I could get some understanding, some peace of mind, a little bit. I was no Cristiano. And I go, I have my Bible, and he takes me to this church, and I just told him, I go, no, this ain't the church. It's somewhere around here, but this ain't the church, and take me where there was lowrider. He didn't understand where my mind was at, you know.
Right.
He thought I was crazy, which I was crazy, you know. And I go, just take me to this church over here. It's over here. He goes, where do you want me to take you, homie? I go, I just want to change. And you know what this guy told me, my compadre? I don't speak to him no more, you know? I haven't seen. He goes, this is your life. This is what you do. You love doing this, coming in and out, and, you know? And I told him, for reals, homie? You have a lowrider? How come I can't have a lowrider? You have a wife? How come I can't have a wife? You have a house? How come I can't have a house, you know? And he goes, well, where do you want to go? I go, just take me to the church over here. And he took me. And I ended up going to that church, Holmes, and I ran in there, dog, and I didn't come out of that church, homie. I would stay there for hours, homie. You know, I see my kids, I see my baby's mom, and I seen everybody, but my home base was always going back to church. Now, when I got out, I was just trying to get a peace of mind.
Yes, yes.
You know, and I bump into my homeboy right here, little man, and he had the barrio. I mean, I can't say that over there.
Right.
But he had things in his hands, you know?
Right.
He had the dope, the cuete, he had everything. He had it on lock, and he was the first one that I seen. And I just said, hey, homie, hey, what's up, Lazy? Kyle, what do you need? Hey, man, I'm here, you know? And I was happy. He was doing his things, you know? But I was trying to stay away from it too, you know? I was not trying to go back to that old lifestyle, but I just wanted to see my old friends. Hey, what's up? And I just told him, hey, homie, I'm just trying to change, dog. I'm trying to make my life, homie.
Yes.
And he respected that. He goes, ve pues, homie, go get it, dog. We'll still be here and we'll go get it, you know? And I went and I took off. I went back to the church. I was just there. I planted, just paying attention. And 2 weeks go by, homie, and they stole my Bible at church, homie.
Wow.
And I went crazy, dog. You know, T, it's funny, but it wasn't funny, T, because
Of course.
when I was there and that happened, dog, the Bible meant everything to me, dog. And when I grabbed the assistant pastor and the deacon, and I explained to somebody, one of the brothers, hey man, I need my Bible, homie. You don't know what's going on, homie, you know. And I'm going crazy, and nobody would talk to me at church, homie, because I'll be in my tank top, tatted down, and my shorts.
Right.
I just wanted a peace of mind, dog. That's it. I don't want nothing else, homie. I just wanted a life. And they grabbed me, bro. They talked to me. They snatched me up, and like, what's the problem? And I gave them my whole story, dog. You don't know who I am, homie. I'm lazy from out of Norwalk, homie. You don't disrespect me like that, homies. And I just started going off, homie. You know, you don't know. You have no clue of what I've been through. That Bible that they stole from me, that's my Bible. And I had highlighted and everything. And they go, and it has a name. And his name is Mr. Wilson. You know, Mr. Wilson from Castaway, right? From Castaway, that he had that bar.
Yeah.
And that was my Mr. Wilson, you know?
Wow.
And they're like, okay, why are you mad now? Because of it? And I go, you didn't understand what I just finished telling you in the last 15 minutes. I go, you don't know. No. He goes, okay, let's get this straight. You done this. This happened to you. This gone this. This has this, that, and this, right? Yeah. He goes, let the Bible go, homie. Mr. Wilson, let it go do a job in somebody else so he could bring back another lazy from another barrio and bring him to church. It did his job. Let it go. And I was like, dang. He goes, ain't you here at church? I'm like, yeah. He goes, pues? And I'm like, all right, we'll give you a new Bible. We'll give you everything, you know? And I did, dog, and it just calmed me down. Little by little, as I started going to school, I started getting my things going and helping out the churches, helping out the nonprofits, and getting involved in the community. And then next thing you know, VO picks me up, Victory Outreach. Oh, homie, they trained me to the fullest. Man, homie. And then about 6 months later, I met my wife. And we got married. We started going, and we had a kid. We had a child, Daniel, and it just kept on going, bro. I kept on going to school. It just started growing. This big old ball, homie. This big old blessing started growing. It just, people coming from left to right and try to understand them. I started running a home. I started working with everybody, and everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everybody started coming. I didn't know how to approach them. You know, I just know how to love them and care for them, you know, and it just started growing, homie. We helped out Norwalk Victory Outreach. They're the one that trained me. We gave thousands away, homie, out of my pocket, and I don't regret it. I look at it as a schooling. And then Miracle Worship came, and it was my homeboy, and he picked us up for the ministry. We blew up that ministry, homie. It was so big. It just blew up from doing the car shows. I knew that the car show scene would work because it worked in my life, homie. It worked in my life. So I knew if I could use a vehicle as display, and then I could kind of understand where they're coming from, or they're hurting for anything, then I could guide them, help them, direct them to whatever he might need. He might not need it. His son might need it, you know?
Yeah.
And we got involved in the car shows, homie. And that's how we started building up the ministry. The ministry got big. He had his house, his cars, everything. And at that point, when we were ready at that peak, homie, to be launched off, because all these, in the ministry, homie, besides the spiritual part, is the business part, homie. Business is a big thing in the church, homies. I'm not talking bad about the churches, homie.
No, right.
You know? And people will say, you see, the money is to root of all evil. That's the first scripture they're going to throw, dog. It's not that scripture. It's just for the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of the money is the root of all evil, not money itself.
Of course.
But see, a lot of pastors right away want to see all this change coming up and all this feria coming up, and it changes people's hearts.
It does. It really does. And that's why sometimes I believe, this is just me, I believe that sometimes God keeps people content.
Yeah.
Porque si les da mucho, if he overgives them, it can draw your heart away from him. Okay? You have children. I don't know how many children, but let's just say you had 3 children. You know who you can trust with more.
Yeah.
According to their ability.
Yeah.
I can give him 500 and I know he'll return it another
Yeah.
500. This one 3, I don't want to give him too much. This one 1.
Yeah.
But as long as they produce and multiply
Their
it.
talents, yes.
Yes. So I get it. Not everybody in the church is going to be rich.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody.
Come on.
You know, let's be honest. I read the scriptures. Jesus said the poor will be with you always.
Dang it, homie. That's a beautiful scripture, though. That, you quoting that, homie, if you sit down and just analyze it, dissect that, and just blow your mind on that one, dog. Because that is the truth, homie, you know? Yeah. It will change people. People will take it the wrong way. And, it means poor in spirit. You know, no, it means everything in one, homie, you know? Yeah. And that is the truth. You will always have them with you. The poor you will always have. Why? Because there's curses, one. Others don't want to, they bury their talents, like you mentioned. Yes. You know, you hit it all in those points, homie, you know? And with that note, you know, back to what I was saying, the pastor got everything and his house, everything, bro. And right when we were getting ready to launch off, he snatches everybody's keys. And he left us there broke, broke, carnal, broke, homie. And, you know, to this day, it hurts me because we could have been a great ministry, homie, you know? So when we were left broke, homie, I couldn't sell dope. I couldn't open up a church. I didn't have a 50c3. Right. I didn't have a holly. My full time was in the ministry. You know, my wife was barely getting by through her checks. We were broke. So what did I do, homie? The car show thing. I knew how to do it. So I got back into the car show business, and I bought $32 worth of sunglasses. We put it all together, and we just kept on moving, and it kept on growing and growing and growing. Now we've invested over $600,000 in the business, homie. We're known worldwide because of Rockin Chicano, you know, and we established a lot of help, a lot of familias, 501c3s, homie. You name it, we done it. We started the communication with the city council, city manager. I'm up for one of the seats in the city now. Commissioner for events, special event coordinator, commissioner. Everything has been coming up, bro, but it was not easy, you know. Rockin Chicano came as the name, as my uncle, the one that passed away.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he said, why don't you just name it something that you're rocking? You're a Chicano. Name it Rockin Chicano. You're rocking that Chicano style. I'm like, all right. So it kicked off. We went full throttle, We haven't stopped, Holmes. We did the Anaheim Convention Center twice. I've done the Expo Center. We just finished doing the Pomona Fair, never done in history in 100 years, to bring the lowrider Chicano scene in there. It was a success. We blew out that street more than the hot rods ever even brought in gente within the last 14 years. We've been asked to come back. We've gone up north. We've gone to Arizona. We got a big fan base in Arizona. The gente out there take care of us real good at a resort. Marnette, Ray, everybody up north, Visalia, Mike and Rachel, everybody up there. Everywhere we go, we're loved, homie. But we pushed it to the fullest, you know.
Absolutely.
We made Rockin Chicano. Eventually, fortunate to say, sadly to say, that pastor ended up going back to his old habits, and he ended up back in prison. He's right now, I think he's fighting life. I think he got life, you know. I'm
really?
Not too sure, yeah. I don't speak to him. He called me up about a month ago, I think 2 months ago. No, like 3 months ago for the first time in all this time, and asking me for advice.
The pastor?
Yeah. And I was like, you know what, my brother? And I just spoke to him like the way a godly person would speak, you know. I had no remorse or anything, you know. I just, hey, my brother, you know, it's going to be okay. When you ever come back out, you know that we're here to pick up where we left off at, you know. I can't hold any grudges like that, T, because life is short, carnal.
Yes.
You know, life will hit you with many curveballs, homie, you know. You got to be able to know how to catch them, homie. Hit the bat when you could hit the bat. Hit the home run when you could hit the home run. Other than that, you keep on stepping. And if he has seen me through all that, what makes you think that he won't see me through even more and greater things?
Yes, absolutely.
The question, T, you asked me if when I was 17, and nobody has ever asked me that question, what would you tell that young individual, you know? I'd be worth it. It's going to be worth it. And it has been, homie. My jacket, I've hit over 297 combinations on the sarapes for the two-tones, for the lowrider bombs, for the lowrider cars, for the lowrider motorcycles, bro. I've hit them. They've stole my colors, homes. They sent them back to Tlaxcala, so I made my jacket. And it was a success. It was a hit. Everybody tries to jump on board. That's fine. See, if I could lead by example, homie, and have the Raza behind me to do bigger and greater things, which I want you to do bigger and greater things than me.
Yes.
Well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Some people will know the wisdom and the knowledge, T, and they won't spit the game. They'll keep it to themselves and be selfish and selfish to themselves and self-seeking.
So it's possible that they're hoarding their blessings.
Big time. You know, they've had, okay, say for instance, they do have their blessings, homie, but imagine how bigger of a blessing it would be for them to open up and help out, you know? A lot of people don't. That's fine. A lot of people didn't open up the doors for us, for me and my wife and my kids, and we worked very hard, homie, hard. We hit it hard. I have a 1986 step van, all pimp my ride style, TVs, everything, sound system, and we just cruise and advertise ourselves at the boulevard, and we go out there to all the shows. I have a custom trailer, a booth of 10 by 80. The other booth is a 10 by 40, 50, I think.
10 by 80?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dog. It's a big, when I bust open the trailer, yeah, it's a big one, bro. It's humongous, bro. You know, the way we bust it open.
Wow.
And I take about 3-4 booths in the swap meet, bro. Yeah, about 4 booths. That's a lot of money, you know, but of course we kick in. The money does come in, you know, thank God.
Right before we went to break, I said I wanted to ask you a question about the Bible. If any, what scriptures pop out or what stories come to mind that really touched you in some way or fashion?
It would have to be Moses, dog, in the desert.
Okay.
But the way I look at myself, the lifestyle of Moses, the way the desert, when the trials and tribulations, when I just be myself, dog, I look at King David.
King David.
King David was bad, homie. He was a murderer. He killed. He praised God, and he humbled himself, homie. He says, don't take this away from me, you know, meaning the Holy Spirit. So, you know, us as we live in life or whatever, you know, and we go about our business and we're going to sin, we're going to trip, we're going to cuss, we're going to want to even fight, homie. I don't care who you are, you know.
Of course.
You're going to go through your trials, you're going to go through your changes, but let me be humble like King David, you know.
Yeah, you know what? One thing that it took me a while to understand was when David had Uriah killed because he took his wife. Okay, and God did not let her have that child.
Yeah.
Okay, and one thing that happened when I want to say right before the child died, he found out that Bathsheba had been pregnant.
Yeah.
Then Nathan the prophet walks in and starts speaking to David, and we know the story. You are that man.
Christian, yeah.
Okay. One thing that David said that I think today people lack. He asked Nathan, pretty much, is God going to take my life?
Yeah.
Like he feared God.
Yeah.
And I think today, I believe that's what's missing from a lot of people's life. A lot of people today do not fear God. You know, what does it say? That the very breath that we breathe is in the palm of his hands.
Yeah.
You know, Jesus said, fear the one that can take your soul and cast it into hell. Him you fear.
Yeah.
Okay, because he can.
Yeah.
Today we have many people that do not have the fear of God.
Yeah.
Okay. And, you know, David feared God, and when he got caught, he felt the conviction, and he was quick to repent.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing that I love when he said David had a heart, was a man of
after God's own heart.
to God's own heart, because he was quick to repent.
Yeah.
So
When the son passed at that time,
yeah,
he says he got up, washed his hands, and he went and go get something to eat. You know, he knew that chapter of that life was closed. And that's something that we have to acknowledge. When things go wrong in your life, wash your hands. Get up, wash your hands, go get something to eat. It's going to be okay. You know, he's going to take care of you. He's going to look out for you, you know.
Yeah.
And everything I have is because of him. And I'm no Bible thumper, homie. I'm not here, hey, repent, go to this. Look, homie, you got a personal relationship with God. That's between you and God. You're a sinner, you're a lesbian, you're a drunk, you're an addict, whatever. That's between you and God, not me. Because I'm dealing with my own issues, homie, you know.
Right.
But if I could speak a little testimony, hey, man, this is how it's going. And my name's Anthony, not Jesus, homie. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna trip, homie. You know, I'm gonna.
I can't save you.
I can't save you, homie. But you know, homeboy helped me out.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could help you out too. Well, what do you mean? Just pray, fool. Just you know what I mean. Take a little time out, homie. We all need that little time out. Dog.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. I want to say one more thing. You mentioned, if I'm correct, a DA at the gym.
District attorney.
Yeah, district attorney. Okay, and he was a Moreno. He was a black man, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make a point.
Before you go to that point,
Yes.
let's continue in that little part. So I get out. Remember, I went to school. I did all that,
Yes.
and I got my degrees. I got ordained as a minister. I got all that, right? So I tracked him down. I finally seen him. He was in Torrance District Attorney's office there, and they told me, they're like, hey, I go, hey, is Eric Parson? And he's all like, yeah, but he's in lunch right now. You could sit here and wait for him. So I sat there and I waited for about 10, 15 minutes. And he comes in the door and I get up, bro. And I go, what's up, homie? And he's like, he stood there. Hey, homie, he's Moreno. He look white, homie. Like, what the heck? Am my office, you know? I go, remember me, I said? And he's all like, yeah. And I go, I want to show you something. And I pull into my pocket and he backed out. I go, wait up, Eric, come here. And he was walking backwards.
Right.
And I walked towards him and I pulled out my card, my ministry card, dog. And he's all like, and he stood there, dog, and he looked at the ministry card and he started crying, homie. He goes, I knew it, Holmes. I knew it, Anthony. I'm a deacon at a church, and all that time God was speaking to me to be lenient with you, to speak to you, to talk to you, to make a conversation with you. And I knew you were going to be great, but yet I was fighting with God at all this time. And he gave me a hug. He started crying, dog.
Wow.
You know? And I just told him, you know what, homie? For that time that you gave me, here's my ministry card. I could marry and I could bury, homie. Thank you for everything. And I gave him a big hug and I left. That was years ago, dog. I don't know what happened to him, but I still had to go back and thank him, homie, you know?
The reason why I bring that up is because it reminded me of a similar story of mine when I was in my early 20s. I'll say I was probably 20, I believe. I was a point in my life where I was lost, okay? And I'll give it to you in a nutshell. I went to a friend's house because I knew he went to church. I didn't even know what kind of church he even went to, but I knew he went to church. He was a faithful churchgoer. So I went to his house and I just said, hey man, I want to go to church with you. And he laughed at me. Seriously, he goes like, are you serious? Yeah. And I said, yeah. And he said, I know what you need. So he takes me to the liquor store and buys me a 40-ounce King Cobra.
What?
Yeah. And I was truly expecting something else. So I said, all right, take a swig, okay? A couple of weeks later, my mom kicks me out of the house. I go back to his house, and I said, hey, man, I want to go to church with you. No, I know what you need. That's what he does. Takes me back to the liquor store, Neptune Liquor, right here down the street. And this is, keep in mind, I want to say it was probably 89 or 1990. And Moreno was talking to a black dude. And I saw him, and he comes up to me and goes, hey, what's up? Okay, and I was like, hey, what's up? During that time, we had no association with Morenos. Yeah. Okay, what's up? And he comes up to me, and he goes, what's your name? And I was like, what's your name, fool?
Yeah.
And he told me his name. And I said, okay, well, my name is, and I played around and I said, my name is Jesus. And he said, you know what, Jesus? And he pointed to my face and he goes, I'm going to pray for you. And this was a black guy. And I was like, the hell? You better get the hell away from me. Okay. So I went in there, got my King Cobra, went back to my friend's house, and then he puts on a Jesus of Nazareth movie for me. Okay. Okay. So we started watching it. He knocks out, and I'm just like, I'm really glued like to it, you know? So I drink my 40. A week later, I hit him up. I say, hey, bro, I want to go to your church. And he tells me, I can't take you to my church because I don't go there no more. And I said, why not? And then he tells me this, I'm a backslider. And I said, what's that? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up Catholic all my life.
Yeah.
So I go, look, well, let's just cruise around, man. And he said, okay, look, come Sunday and we'll cruise around and we'll find you a church. All right, whatever. So we cruised around for about 30 minutes. He goes, church usually starts around 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, so go all the way through Torrance, nowhere near here.
Yeah.
He finds a church. He goes, this looks like a nice building. So he pulls in. He goes, here's my Bible. I'll be back in about 2 hours. And I go, 2 hours? And he goes, yeah, I'll be back in about 2 hours. And I was like, okay. And I remember my first question was this. Hey, is there a bunch of white people in there? You know, and he goes, I don't know. I've never been here. Well, why you bring me here? He goes, go. So I walk in, and this is no lie, okay? I open the door. Very first person I see. The very first person I see. Big church, okay? He smiles at me, and he tells me, I told you I was going to pray for you. And it was that black man.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That's
true,
deep, dog.
true story. And let me tell you something. He put his arms around me. And the reason why that was a miracle for me, because even though growing up, popping and playing sports, I had black friends, my father was a very prejudiced man. So I would not dare bring him home and allow him to see him. So I started building up a lot of that my father had.
Yeah.
But meeting him, he became a very good friend and still is a friend of mine till today.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So the whole point of sharing that message is this. Many of you, I truly believe that God has sent someone out of our nationality, out of Raza, to help us, but we've turned them away.
Yeah.
Because many times, because of street politics, we'll say, we don't talk to Morenos, we don't talk to Samoanos, you know, we don't talk to Salvadorians, or we don't talk to gente from Honduras, you know, whatever. And many times God sent them to us. Like God, I believe God sent that Moreno to you.
Yeah, he did, bro.
Of course.
That's deep, T. That I believe it, bro. You know what I mean? You just never know. You know, you got to be open-minded for everything, you know. We're grown, we're mature now, you know. We have to have understanding and be lenient, you know, and have an open heart, you know, to see these things, to accept the things that you can't change, you know. Now in my neighborhood is a little bit different. The Morenos live around us and they're real cool, you know. I look out for them. It's our neighborhood, it's our block,
Absolutely.
you know. And those are God's children. I mean, who would you say, Charlie or whatever, you know?
Exactly.
I know people are going to say, oh, yeah, but you always say Viva la Raza. I say it for a reason, you know.
Absolutely.
I say it from back in the 70s, the 60s, when my family used to say, you know, if you decide to go out of your line, then that's fine. That's you, not me. That's, you know, you take care of you, you know. If God has opened you up the doors for other things, then go for it. Go do the things that you need to do, you know. I believe that there is already a structure and a path already for you to follow, you know, in life. And sometimes you hit a roadblock, like you said. Sometimes you might be in front of the Crystal Cathedral at 17 years old, homie. And somebody might come up to you.
And God heard you.
Yeah, dog, yeah. Nobody's asked me that question, T. Out of everybody, Holmes, nobody has ever hit me with that question. And that's a good one, dog. It's something to think about, you know. At those times when you're already stuck there, you know, what would you tell yourself? Now, you could tell yourself that, whoever is listening. What would you tell yourself in an incident like that? Now that you're looking out, now that you're out looking in, you know, get out of the scenario and look in from the outside, you know. Right. Everybody needs encouragement. Everybody needs a pickup, homie. I mean, you ain't Superman. You ain't Jesus, like you said, you know. Right. Everybody needs a pickup. I believe that if you stay focused, have some good morals, have a good thought, have a good heart, have a good spirit, you know. don't ever be too acá muy uyuyuy for everything, you know. And I don't work that way, man. Be thankful. And everything that you do is a man upstairs. And you, right now you're tuning in, watching this. Oh, it's too much about God. I don't believe in him. Oh, that's fine, homie. That's your prerogative. But he still believes in you because you're still alive.
Yeah.
You know, you give him his props. Hey, homie, you know, that's his. I don't believe in that. Fine, dog. That's fine. You don't have to answer up to me, to Roadium Radio. You don't have to answer to nobody. The pleito's between you and him, not us, homie, you know. But if you're right now tuning in and you're going through your trials and tribulations, you know, like T said, step outside and look in. And what would you ask yourself?
Right.
You know, that's a good question, homie, you know.
You know, a lot of times, one of my friends years ago had to put me on check. And this was before that liquor store incident. One of my friends started going to church, and he asked me, why don't you go to church with me? And I said, nah, I'm cool, bro. I'm not no religious freak. That's what I said. Right. And he put me on check. He said, you know what's funny, man? That when we used to rock up our dope, you had no problem with that. When we used to go to the strip clubs and get table dances, we had no problem with that. Yeah. He says, when we used to go rent pornos out there in Long Beach, you had no problem with that. Yeah. He said, you know, when we used to slang and, you know, do whatever, you had no problem with that. Oh. Now I ask you just to go visit church with me, and all of a sudden, I'm a religious freak. Yeah. I didn't know what to say because it was true.
That's true.
Because it was true. I wanted to do everything that was possibly negative.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we could do that all day long. Yeah. But the moment that he told me just come sit in church with him for about an hour, I was like, no.
Yeah.
You know,
it's very true, homie. You know, I look at it this way. I will be judged. They will throw stones at me. But really, T, I don't pay attention to it, homie, because look, dog, if I was crazy back then and you judged me and you spoke on me, now that I'm doing good, you're going to do the same. So it's irrelevant what you think of what I'm doing. And, you know, oh, that's not religious. That's not God. That's not part of God. Do your own mission. I got my own mission in life, you know. If I help out people this way, you know, Paul said that was his ministry. If this is my ministry, then that's fine, you know. In our podcast, but we don't smoke yeska or drink or whatever, you know. Everybody's different in the podcast, you know.
Right.
We respect that, you know. But that's all I ask when we're there, you know. Yeah. And they could be atheists. Sometimes they cuss or whatever. Hey, homie, just tone it down a little bit, you know. But that doesn't change the fact that he don't love us. He don't love you. He loves all of us, homie, you know. Right. And that path has already been set there for you and for me and for this rest of this world, homie.
You know, I want to touch on something in closing, because I knew a man years ago that went to work and he got his arm cut off. So he only had one arm. He shared with me in his years when he was about to pass away, he built a church. God had called him to build a church. Yeah. And when he was supposed to start building, he decided to go to work for some extra income. Yeah. He worked at a lumberyard and got his arm cut off that day. Yeah. While he was in hospital, they were about to seal it or whatever, he said, for the first time ever, I heard God's voice. Yeah. And he goes, I was crying out, and I said, okay, what do I do now? What do I do now? I only got one arm. What do I do now? And he goes, because I know you want me to build this church. And he said this, as clear as day. He said, Tony, out of all my years of ministry, I probably only heard God's voice maybe 3 or 4 times. Yeah. But that time was the first time, and he said, what do you have that I can use? And he goes, and then I heard it again. What do you have that I can use? And he said, I only have one arm. He said, then use that. Now, let's go back to Moses. God told him, you know what? Pick up that rod and go. Yeah. Use that. Is it possible that God, when you said, I know how to do the lowrider thing, I know how to do the car thing, God, what do you have that I can use? Take that car. Yeah. Use that car. Yeah. Because obviously it's to draw people into him, not to draw people to you. Yeah. So.
He told me he was going to give me the concerts. He told me he was going to give me all that, you know, but just uplift him first, you know, and glorify him. And I will, you know what I mean? I'm still me. Yes. I'm still Rockin Chicano, you know, I'm still human, I'm still everything, but I will always give him thanks and glory to him. Everything I have is because of him. He's the man, you know, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful that he has opened up many doors like this one right here, you know, and I'm blessed, and I'm able to work with everybody in the community. Man, homie, you name it, we've done it, homie, you know, and Rockin Chicano has gone far, brother, and And I think I'm just probably like 30% into this holiday, homie. I'm tired already, you know. But it's a blessing, you know. And we get to work with everybody. And the lowrider community, motorcycle community,
Yes.
they just granted me the Expo Center for my first bomb show and motorcycle show, August 6th.
Let's promote that because that's what you sent me the flyer.
Yeah, August 6th at the Expo Center, done by Rockin Chicano. We put in a lot of bombs, bro. We put in, when I was part of Love for the Streets, we put in 1,000 ramflas, like no problem, you know. We put in a lot of, everything that we do is positive.
In the
And
city
all
of
the
industry,
time,
okay.
yeah, every time that there's finances, we always bless the people. We got like 3 families in Tijuana that we take care of, a few families here in Norwalk, and you know, it's just, we take care of whoever we got to take care
Yes.
of. We donate. Right now, we're blessing some families.
Uh-huh.
Everybody that is supporting me, I gotta give them a big gracias.
Yes.
Especially the wife and kids. They've been busting butt. They get down. Gloria, Little Man, Norma kicking in, Aurora. All my homeboys from Norwalk, Negro, Pamps, La Chunky, Sin, everybody, the car clubs, Notorious Entertainment, Pharaoh's Car Clubs, Dukes, Al, everybody, Woody, yeah, man, Holmes. The list goes on and on and on and on and on for being able to work with us and able to expand us into a further little empire, you know?
Awesome.
But we always give back, homie. Man, homie, we give back so much money in return, dog. Pete, last night I was talking to Pete and his son, and I made the stoles for the class of 2022, and the bottom said "Viva la Raza."
Awesome.
And I was just preaching to him why I made that for young people like himself. So as he's sitting there before he gets his graduation diploma, I go, mijo, I want you to look at that and look at Viva la Raza. And look at my tag, Rockin Chicano. And why I did that, mijo. I did it for kids like you. To heck with the feria, mijo. I want you to open up doors for your people. I want you to open up doors for your family. You're going to make it. You're the next generation, mijo. That's why I made it. I didn't make it for the money because I could live off of beans and rice. I'm good, homie, you know?
I'm good, yeah.
I've lived through that through my whole life. Ramens, all that. I'm good, homie. I just, you know, of course I love the steaks and all that. Yeah, I love all that. But you know what?
Yeah.
He has seen me this much, and we donate and we give and we participate and we bless a lot of people, dog.
You've been blessed to be a blessing.
T, we make a lot of money, dog. I'm not boasting like that, dog. I'm nothing to boast about.
No, but you're bragging about him.
Yeah, but we give it back in return, homes. Communities, nonprofit. Oh, man, homie, we just going on, and it just opens up bigger doors, you know? Faithful over little, faithful over much, and I always give them his props, homie, you know?
Yeah.
We got some things coming up, but it was a blessing being here, T. It is an honor, homie. It's an honor. Look at it. The Roadium Radio. I'm here, fools. What's up, homie? What's up? I love it. You know?
Awesome. Other than that, any more shout outs? Take your time. If not, then I'll give mine.
No, shout out Little Man. What's that, Little Man?
Little Man.
This is the homeboy
Come over
here.
on this side right here.
This is the homeboy here that I was supposed to work for him, but now he works for me in a good way.
Yeah.
He had what was it, Little Man? Kidney, new kidney.
Liver kidney transplant.
Liver kidney transplant.
Well, I've been through it. I got stabbed 7 times in 87, shot twice in 90, stabbed in the heart in 97. 2017, I had a liver and kidney transplant.
Wow. Well, thank God you're still here.
Yeah, if it wouldn't be, it's all of him.
Absolutely.
And this is my partner, homie. I decided to pick him up. Said, you want to roll with me, homie? But we ain't going to sell dope this time.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We ain't selling dope.
Yeah, awesome.
God bless everybody out there. And if you tuned in, thanks for tuning in. And see everybody next week on the show.
Heck
We'll
yeah.
let you all know what's coming up pretty soon.
That's
Heck
right.
yeah. Awesome. Okay, let me go give my shout outs once again to Alex Cervantes Enterprise, the Hip Hop Jedi, Norbert. We got to think of a better, longer name for Norbert. You know, like, NB, or no.
Is that Norbert or Norbit from
Yeah,
the movie?
exactly. Or Orbs, something like that. My son B. Scallons for helping me promote this, and everybody out there watching, because without you guys, we wouldn't even be here. So we want to thank everybody who tuned in, who liked, subscribed, commented. Even if you disliked, it didn't matter. You guys still watched. Hope you guys were blessed. I hope you guys learned. I hope you guys were educated. Once again, share this with someone. Hopefully it'll bless someone. But other than that, Rockin Chicano, I wish you nothing but the best. You know what? Continue to go straight on that narrow path.
Thank you, bro. And one last shout out. All the vatos here from Wilmas. Gracias for letting us, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You just got to give them us props, homie. Wherever
Absolutely.
you're at, you give that neighborhood their props.
Absolutely.
Everybody from around the whole harbor area. Gracias, San Pedro. Everybody. Torrance, Carson, everybody. Big shout outs. But Wilmington, thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. And Wilmas and Norwalk, stand up. Much love, much respect to you guys. We out of here. See you guys Sunday with another special guest. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch.
You got it.